found him to be conservative. I found him to be a good listener, except that I've tried to tell him that hockey is not a sport, it's a disease, and they are working on the cure, and he has not been receptive to that, so that would be my main complaint with Tom Emmer.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you. And I know you're busy, and I know we had somebody that spoke, and I apologize. Thank you for letting me be here. Ray, what Ray doesn't understand about hockey, and I'm going to have to help him, is that we know that there's only one, we know that they play hockey in heaven. How do we know? Because ice can't survive any other place, Ray. Okay? So you'll come with me eventually. Folks, I want to introduce you to the best conservative in my house and my best friend. This is my wife, Jackie. I want to talk about something that is positive, because when we get into these endorsement battles, whatever you want to call it, discussions, sometimes people start to throw things back and forth. And I will tell you, I'm not impressed with that. I don't think we should, any of us should be. We should rise above it. And by the way, I hope you will do your research on anything, because you'll know who I am, and I know as well. I'm one of you. So here's what I want to talk about today. It's called freedom. Freedom that our country was built on, that we expect for our children. I want to evangelize, if you don't mind, for a minute, because that's what this is all about next summer, next fall. It is evangelizing about Republican principles and Republican values. So before I get there, and I want to remind us all we're on the same team, I want to tell you a quick story. Did you hear about the young man who walked into the church and walked up to the pastor and said, "Son, may I help you?" And the young man said, "Yes. Would you please pray for my hearing?" And the pastor, without even hesitating, grabbed his ears, started to shake his head and pray loudly over the top of him. And after about 30 seconds, he let go and he said, "Son, how's your hearing?" The young man was a little stunned. He looked at him and he said, "I don't know. It ain't until next Wednesday." Thanks. Why did I do that? Here's why I did that. Because we all need to laugh together. We all need to remember that no matter what happens at the end of the day, we are all Republicans. We are the future of the state of Minnesota, and frankly, the future of this country. We all know what the problem is, folks. Government has grown to be too large. It is killing our economy. It is killing our children's future. We are the only party that absolutely offers a better vision for the future, not only in the state of Minnesota, but in the United States of America. It is our principles of smaller government and our values of individual liberty and economic economic freedom that are the future. I get a little excited. Please forgive me. I will tell you this, when you evaluate the candidates, because Jackie and I, we've been very blessed, by the way. We have 7 children, 6 boys and a daughter. And that, by the way, is why we're here. People ask, why? Why do you want to do this job? Well, we have 7 reasons why. We get up every day in this country and we see what's happening in Washington, we see what's happening here in Minnesota. And what does every parent want? What do we all want for our children? We all want our children to have the opportunity for a better life than we've had, a free life. And we have concerns as to whether our children are ever going to have that opportunity, which is why we are interviewing with you to be part of a movement that changes the future and gives back our kids the future that we want for them. I'm going to tell you, here's the difference between myself and my colleagues. I've been trained outside of government. I'm 49 years old. I've run my own business for the last almost 15 years. I think the next governor of the state should know what that feels like. I think the next governor of the state should know how hard it is to run a business in this state. I think the next governor of the state should understand what it feels like to struggle to meet a payroll, and more importantly, what it feels like to struggle to meet a payroll, and when all your employees get paid, you may not, because you own that business. I think that's the type of life experience that is going to give us the strength and the courage to not only say what needs to be done, but do what needs to be done. And how does it prepare me differently from my colleague to do the job? I'll tell you. I've been trained outside of government my whole life to negotiate outcomes. When you negotiate on behalf of a business, you negotiate to put your business in a better position than it is today. You never give away your current position, and ladies and gentlemen, you never ever give away part of your business. With all due respect to my colleagues who have been educated and trained within government, they're trained differently. They are trained to do something that is called compromise. It is different from negotiating outcomes based on our principles of smaller government, based on our values. Abraham Lincoln, I'm told, was once asked, "Sir, do you believe in compromise?" And his response was, "Yes. I try to get my opponents to do it all the time." Think about it for a second. The time is now. All right? Here is, I want to leave you with this. Vince Lombardi, I'm told, once said, "There are people who make things happen. There are people that watch things happen. And there are people that say, what just happened?" Okay? Republicans they are people that make things happen. We are people that make things happen. We have arrived at a point in our history, in this state, and in this country that requires us to make things happen. Requires Republicans to not only show up, but to stand up for what we believe in. We need people, leaders, who will be selfless and who will stand up for our values and negotiate outcomes that are smaller government, that are personal liberty and economic freedom. You know why? Because Jackie and I selfishly want our children and yours to have the opportunity to be the best they can possibly be without government telling them what that is. We would like to work with you as we reshape Minnesota and redirect that future for our kids and for yours. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.